You wake up and you're completely surrounded by light. You turn around and suddenly you see these big golden gates seemingly attached to nothing. An old guy checks your name at a little makeshift desk and lets you inside, where you find people chilling on clouds, rocking some angel wings, maybe playing a little harp. You've seen this before. Cartoons, movies, commercials, it's literally everywhere. It's our cultural standard for heaven. It's shorthand for where we go when we die. And it's wrong. Like really, really, really wrong. But you probably already knew that. The reason those images are so popular is because they're so easy. They're simple. And they don't challenge us to do anything, to change anything, to become anything different. They're a giant, shiny substitute for something that's way harder to capture and way harder to explain. The best analogy we have for the afterlife is what Scripture calls the new heavens and the new earth. It's an idea that shows up first in Isaiah, and it's what John sees in one of his visions in Revelation. The new heavens and the new earth are described as a refined, perfected version of what the world is now. It's what the world was supposed to be, stripped of all the sin and death and corruption that has tormented God's good work. It invokes the pristine nature of the Garden of Eden, and it reminds us of the relationship that Adam and Eve had with God way back when, the time when God walked in the garden with them, spoke with them, and they were always close to God. It's beautiful and it's hopeful. It's about redemption and a life we were made for that is just beyond our grasp. Now, a lot of people obsess about how we get from here to there. There are all these theories about the end times and the apocalypse. You'll hear these big words thrown around, words like Armageddon and the rapture. How many billions of dollars have been spent on movies that show us how it's all going to end? But all that completely misses the point. The truth is, we don't get to know that part. We don't get to know when the world ends or how the world ends. We get hints and glimpses that spark our imaginations and send us down theoretical rabbit holes. But that's not the important part of the story. Because the story isn't about God creating the world and then destroying it. The story is about God creating the world and then redeeming it, saving it, making it new again. The story is about how God makes us new, about how we get to be with God. And that part of the story doesn't wait for the end of the world. It doesn't wait until we die. It doesn't wait until heaven. It starts now. It's what Jesus invites us to live out every day. The entire story of Jesus is full of his bringing heaven down to earth. He showed us a world where people who were paralyzed walked, and people who were blind regained sight. A world where violence did not respond to violence. A world where God was with us. And then he invited his disciples to do the same, to keep bringing heaven down to earth, to keep healing and forgiving and living together in harmony. He didn't just show us a better way, he showed us the way it was supposed to be, the way it will be. He showed us heaven and then told us to go and do likewise.